5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Alright, and we are back with some DKC2, Diddy's Kong Quest. So yeah.
Oh, I get it, that's a pun.
It's a pun. It's your boy, Mr. Pun here. Diddy's Conquest. I don't get it. So yeah, if you guys want to donate, there is the blue Diddy if you want to. If you feel like you can get it to magically reach where it's supposed to. Otherwise, there is the Super Mario All Stars. But yeah, if you can just count me in, we can start timer and hop to it.
All right, counting 5. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go.
Welcome to.
Hello and welcome, everyone. This is, as they said, DKC2. I am Clayton _.
I'm world famous Joe _.
Formerly known as Joe the Rapper.
We don't talk about that.
So, basically, DKC2 is a game that is riddled with ways to break the game and teleport and all that good kind of stuff. So what you just saw there is Blue throw himself up into the warp barrel, and it's going to take him to the end of the level, and then he's just going to pop out and be there.
No way, dude.
So this is 1-2. This is the first wrong warp of the game. Basically, he didn't get it, so...
And he took a death trying to roll into the developer intended warp.
Basically, what he's trying to do is to go up and get that beetle, and then clash with the other beetle, and if you throw the beetle as the other one hits you, you get an invisible object that will turn the bonus barrel into a warp barrel that sends you out of the level. So it confuses the hell out of the game, basically, and just shoots you out.
You okay there?
Yeah, you okay? There's a little heavy breathing going on. It's all good. So, yeah, this is Lockjaw's Locker. We like to call it Luckjaw because that jump right there is almost completely based on luck.
Yeah, it's complete RNG, whether you get it or not. Yeah.
And unfortunately, he didn't get it this time, so...
Unfortunate.
It just saves, like, well, how much does it save? Like 2 or 3 seconds?
Around that, yeah.
Yeah.
Not going for top sale. There's the wrong warp in this level, but it's pretty tricky. So
Yeah. And
Blue
since
Walker
he
could
already,
just not go for it.
yeah, since he already took a death, not really much point. So now we're going into the first boss of World 1, Crow, who is sometimes a bro and sometimes not. He can give you anywhere from 0 fakes up to 19 is the world record right now. So this fight is completely RNG, but it's based on what frame you enter the level. That's what determines how many fake eggs you get. So you can see he's got
And so far already. Quite a lot. Alright, so 2 so far. Hope that doesn't continue. There we go.
So yeah, only 2 fakes. That's not too bad. That's a decent Crow.
2 fakes? Yeah, that's totally fine.
Obviously, fakeless is optimal, but
Can't get fakeless every time.
yeah. So World 2 is kind of more the same. There's a wrong warp here. We'll see if he can get it.
This is not going good. This is not going good.
You're good, man. Don't worry. Hey, we got it. It's the small little tricks. You're just losing a couple seconds here and there. Don't worry. But normally there you would get an invisible barrel by grabbing the chest at the same time as you grab the clobber there. But timing was a little off, so it didn't exactly work.
Alright, so you did get the large mail.
The large male or the big boy. So yeah, do you want to explain what the big boy is there, Joe?
Basically, if if you jump and then team throw at an enemy, when your other monkey comes back to you, you'll get another jump in midair. You can basically use that as a double jump to reach things that you wouldn't normally be able to reach with just a single, single team throw.
This is basically like a super jump, and it's all about just more timing stuff, so. And then normally we want to skip as many of the fanfares in the game as we can, but that one there with Dixie is completely unskippable, so.
Yeah, there's no way to avoid it if you take the warp.
Yeah, sorry, my thing is lagging behind. Okay, looks like you just got the Red Hot Ride warp, so.
Yeah. Which is actually kind of tricky if you're not used to it.
Yeah, I've died several times there for reasons I'm not entirely sure of, but I think it's mostly because you have to get on the balloon, jump, and then at the peak of your jump, throw up and right to get into the warp barrel, and it's really easy to miss. But here is the World 2 boss, Cleaver. There's a trick in this fight called Lava Fly, where Blue is gonna use Dixie to throw Diddy up onto that little cave top, I guess you would say. Oh, not getting the cannonball hit there. But yeah, when he gets back over to the other side, he's going to throw Diddy up there, which will take him up there as Dixie. He's gonna jump and hover over, and right as soon as he hits, he is gonna jump.
Nice.
And he got it, so that's actually like a 4-second time save, so that's pretty cool. But
Yeah.
obviously if you die, then it costs you like 20 seconds.
Yeah, it's pretty risky, but it's early on in the game, so it's not too, not too bad if you miss it. Just
Yeah, it's more of it's definitely a higher level trick. It's encouraged to not really go for it until you're really starting to only shave seconds off your PB at a time.
yeah.
But yeah,
All
that's,
right, now
that's World 2.
the real game begins.
Man, I swear, every time somebody does a run, I don't think anybody has ever not said that.
It just has to be said, man.
Yeah. So yeah, World 3 is where like actual platforming and movement and all that good kind of stuff comes into play because I'm gonna assume that.
Just relax. Relax.
So Blue took a death there. He meant to jump over the barrel as Ramby, and the reason you do that is because when you charge and then jump, your charge continues, so you move really fast.
Yeah, and getting that first jump there is pretty tricky because you have a really small space within which you need to jump in order to not land in that barrel right in front of you.
He got it that time, so we're all good.
Yeah, pretty clean that time.
Little misfire on the barrel there. Usually you would just land in the barrel, shoot over the second one and get the midway point. And then does get the DK coin of shame, but no problem there.
Not too big a deal, yeah.
So the reason that he does this here is when you team throw over that first barrel into the second one, it stores a super jump, which he's going to use right here. Jumping into that cloak, when you take damage, you can jump again, and you hold Y in the air, and then you'll hover and just completely fly over that swamp pit there. It saves a lot of time not having to go into the barrel every single shot, so.
So, Glimmers, this level is famous for being deceptively hard. Because,
Time consuming.
yeah, if you just, as an outsider, just look at someone playing this level, you probably wouldn't notice many mistakes. But the truth is, like, even like the slightest, missed corner, like taking a corner not as sharp as you can, will lose you time. And having to avoid every single wall is pretty precise. And every single bonk you make can lose, up to like I'm not sure. I think you can lose half a second sometimes if
Yeah.
you have a really bad bonk.
So half a second here, half a second there. You do that a couple times, it just adds up. It's a pretty long level, actually.
Yeah, it's not like that level in Donkey 1, but
We don't talk about Donkey 1. It's a bad game.
Donkey 1's a bad game.
The only good thing about Donkey 1 is Winky.
Dude, that's true. As bad of a game it does have Winky.
Yeah. So that wasn't too bad of glimmers. I mean, there's a couple bonks here and there, but overall it was clean. I mean, you didn't take damage, you didn't die. Anytime
Yeah.
you don't take damage or die in a level, it's pretty much considered a success, so.
Why?
Alright, in this level there is a wild
Why?
wrong warp.
And we're gonna have to wait a second to see it.
Yeah,
But still good.
it's not a conventional wrong warp. It's not like spawning spawning a warp barrel like you usually do. This one, I don't know how it works, but it has to do with something with like the camera scrolling and the guy with the knives
Yeah, I think.
and all
this
kinds
is
of black magic.
Yeah, this is the newest, like, big trick, I think, right?
Yeah, this is pretty
Yeah.
much the newest thing.
And it's been, I think, just about a year. So basically
Yeah,
what
it's around
happens
a year.
is, yeah, you throw at the cutlass when his swords are in the ground, and then as he's pulling them out, if you're shooting out of the barrel for some reason, the game gets confused as hell and is like, okay, well, that's the end of the level.
And this is the hardest level in the game by a million.
Yeah, this
No
is,
question. No question.
this level is really dumb, and it sucks because it has probably the best soundtrack song.
Yeah, it's a
In the
fun
whole
song,
game.
but
Bradley
the snake's
hitboxes
hitbox.
are, yeah, hitboxes on the snake are
Awful.
really bad.
Yeah.
Well, that one wasn't that bad, but they can be notoriously bad. So if you only have one Kong, you have to go a lot safer, and it slows you down in general because it doesn't make sense that a vertically moving animal buddy has a horizontal level.
Yeah, that's so dumb, dude.
So, yeah. But right now he's not. This is a halfway decent rattle battle.
Yeah, it's pretty nice. Not a. He hasn't died, so it's a good rattle battle, I guess.
Yeah, and it's really easy to die in this level. So, and so the next wrong warp coming up is here in Slime Climb. What Blue's gonna do here is spin off of there. You switch Kongs as soon as you swim up in the water with Dixie, and then he's gonna jump up. And then, for whatever reason, when he takes damage from that beetle, it shoots him up into the air.
Wee.
And we're going to do another one of these little beetle clashes to get an invisible object. And clashing as Dixie is super easy.
Yeah, you just press Y like whenever and it will work.
Yeah. And as he's falling, he's going to turn, throw the invisible object, go into the barrel, and it didn't work. So I'm not sure if we're doing casual slime climb or if he's going to try again.
Maybe
He's going to try again. Okay, that's fine. So we're up, up, up. I actually didn't see why it didn't work. The stream kind of lagged behind. I don't know if maybe he threw too.
Ooh,
This is not, dude. This is not good. This is not good.
I see it. If he misses this one,
Yeah, I think he threw just a
he
little
threw-
too early.
He threw too early. Yeah.
Yeah. There's a little piece of wood on the post to the left.
Yeah, there's like this black piece of wood that
Yeah,
like, once you cross it, then you wanna throw.
Yeah, you have to be below it.
Yeah, below it.
Well, took a death there. It's not great. This is a super casual slime climb, unfortunately.
Yeah, most people when they miss slime climb wrong warp just have to casual the rest of the level.
Especially
Not
if you get
familiar.
if you get midpoint barrel, then it's just over.
Yeah, then you're kind of finished. But
And it sucks because this actually is a pretty long level, so.
yeah,
Why? 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 I need to relax. I need to relax. Why can't I relax?
Unfortunately, that's another death there.
Oh my god. Oh my god. Oh my god.
You're all good, man. Don't worry about it. Stay chill. Done this a billion times before. This isn't any different.
Just focus on getting out of the level. Like, don't
Just get out of the level. Just get out of the level. Why is
don't
this
concern yourself with how fast you're going. Just get out.
5 minutes late? This is ridiculous.
Slime climb is it's a real bastard of a level sometimes.
Yeah, like, thing is, if you don't know how to do, this level warp list, like, DKC2 is a really hard game, so it's actually difficult to finish the level in the first place.
Yeah, it's
Oh my goodness.
the unfortunate crux of a speedrunner is that you don't know how to play half the game because you usually skip
Yeah.
most of it.
So
when your tricks don't work, if you haven't like played through it casually or warpless or anything like that,
warpless, yeah.
then you're just kind of like, oh well, I need to just figure this out as I'm going.
So Blue might have to take a trip back to 2-1 to collect some lives,
No.
but that's fine.
Hell no.
No, looks like he's actually gonna.
The good thing is we're at Slime Climb, so we're gonna move on to Bramble Blast, which has arguably the best
worst
or
soundtrack
second
in the
best.
game.
Oh, worst. My bad.
Yeah, the song is terrible, but
Okay, you're right. I forgot.
I know I'm right.
But as you can see here, he's getting a couple of these quick hits. There's like a 3-frame window, I believe, when you go
Yeah,
into a
3
barrel.
frames.
Yeah, when you go into the next barrel, if you hit the shoot button within that 3-frame window, it'll instantly shoot you again, and you won't have to go through the cycle of the barrel spinning.
Now we're coming up on world famous vine clip, where he's gonna clip the vine.
Of course not.
And no vine. You're gonna go for
doesn't
Dave
get
flip?
the,
Nope. He's just gonna go for the backup. And no backup.
Standard. Ooh. So he's gonna have to take the maze of shame.
Yeah, this is called the Maze of Shame because obviously it's a maze of barrels, and you failed the vine clip, you failed the backup, and so you're shamed to be taking
Oof.
the slow shot.
And shooting into that barrel takes you right back to the start of the maze of shame.
This is the worst World 3 in my life.
Well, if it makes you feel any better, I've had much worse World 3s before.
Come on,
Hey.
come on.
Through it. So now we're to the best boss in the game, the most interactive and difficult one, Cudgel. So yeah, Cudgel is actually the most boring boss of the game, but unfortunately it's really easy to
Really boring, dude.
it's really
Feels
easy to kind of forget where you're at and make a mistake. But,
Yeah, every time I played this guy, I'm always like, he still has another cycle?
yeah, it's
Like, no way. He's so unnecessarily long.
Yeah, it's not great. But so basically, if you're touching the ground when he lands, it stuns you. I'm not sure the exact duration, but if it's later in the fight, if you get stunned, you're gonna take damage. And then if you take damage as Dixie, you have to end the fight as Diddy, and then you get his Diddy rap, which is much longer than Dixie's fanfare. So
Like the extensive tune.
Yeah, every time you beat a boss, you want to end it as Dixie because her fanfare is shorter and it can't be skipped. So it saves probably like 2 to 3 seconds, I think, actually.
Sounds about right.
Okay. Okay. Okay, 5.5 minutes. Okay. Okay.
As you can see here, Cudgel's dead, and there's a lot to talk about during that fight.
Now we're on the most fun world in the game.
So this is Hornet Hole, and this might be my favorite level in the game.
This is a really good level, yeah. There's all kinds of
It's
fun
got like
platforming,
every
unique
element
effects.
of the game. Yeah, every element of the game that's good and fun is in this, except for honey climbing.
Honey climbing is fun for me because I'm on a keyboard, but yeah.
Well, yeah, but honey climbing is considered to be one of the more like refined skills you have to have because you have to like the inputs are pretty precise to climb as quickly as you can. Otherwise, you're just gonna get stuck and spend time stuck there. But what he's doing right now is setting up a trick called Scrolly Scroll, and when you jump onto that hook from the spider and then jump back onto it and go up and team up, the game gets really confused because it thinks you should already be moving toward the right, so it speeds everything up and sends you like flying through the level. You can still take damage and everything, but for whatever reason it like puts the game on roids and makes you travel at like 5 times the speed.
Yeah. Thanks for explaining that trick, because I have no idea how that works.
Yeah, it's really weird. It's a little more complicated than that, but trying to explain it in real time, and since it's so quick, it's a little difficult.
Yeah, I get that. Now a very exciting level target there. You jump at barrels and they open gates. That's it. That's actually it.
You can't sleep on this level though. You don't read chat during this level. I've actually seen the world record holder Void die on this level, so if that tells you anything. If you just lose your focus for even like half a second, you forget a jump and you fall into a gap, or you hit a barrel that you're not supposed to, and it seems really easy, but it's another one of those cases where you like get lulled into boredom, and that's what makes you die.
Yeah. Well, one exciting thing you can do in this level is skip the flying blue guys.
Yeah.
Like if you time your jump accurately, you can skip having to jump on some of the blue guys.
And it saves like minimal amounts of time, but at higher levels, that's what makes all the difference.
Yeah.
And then also, of course, we're gonna have a swag balloon coming up, and if blue doesn't get it, then the run is invalidated. So
yeah, if you don't get swag balloon, you run. You're automatically disqualified.
but there's a red X barrel that you don't have to jump over, but if you do, you get an extra life, and he gets the swag balloon. So at least
Clean
this counts.
swag balloon.
That's what I like to see.
And he's back at like a good amount of lives now. So
yeah, he should be fine on lives, but this is what I consider to be the hardest trick in the game. It's
blah 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 blah.
Yeah, Bramble Wrong Warp. It's just a super tight timing window to get this clash. So let's see.
Yeah, you clash against the wall, which is pretty hard to time.
Yeah. Well, so far he's gotten it.
Looks like he's got it.
Yeah, first try Bramble. That's really nice.
First try Brambler, yo, that's pretty good.
But that works the same way as all the other wrong warps do. The only difference is that you're not clashing with another enemy. You're using the invincibility, and then when you jump onto those brambles on the right, as Dixie's coming down, it forces her to turn around, and at that exact frame window, I'm not sure how many frames it is, but you're holding one. Three?
Yes.
So it's kind of like it's like a quick shot window, but you're already holding Y to hold the beetle, and in that window when she turns around, you have to release and repress. And for whatever reason, that clashes the beetle against the thorns. And since you're invincible, you don't take damage, but the beetle does, and it kills it. You get the invis object, you go up and over that guy, turn, throw, barrel spawns, and you're out. So. And then this here is Rickety Race, just another auto-scroller platforming. Just gotta pay attention because of these gaps, and if you jump on these guys, you do go flying pretty high, and you have to be pretty precise about when you jump on people because otherwise you could just come out of your jump falling into a gap. So
That level you really don't want to reach at.
yeah, you actually can because it's moving so much faster. But this level is Mudhole Marsh, and it's considered to be one of the hardest levels in the game.
Oh yeah, doing this level optimally is very tight.
And I've come to realize that I'm probably going to say a couple different times this is the hardest XX in the game. But looks like Blue's going to take the safe route and he's going to grab the invis barrel. Normally this is a part called Eagle Pit, and you would do this without the invis. And it's just a lot of precise rolls and jumping and releasing Y and all that good stuff. But for marathon purposes, it's totally acceptable to just grab that invincibility barrel and power through it.
Yeah, definitely.
And then this is
after all that, there's a wrong warp.
Yeah, yet another wrong warp. So let's see if he can get this.
Of course not.
Fortunate. Well.
So I assume he's gonna set it up again. Try at least one more time before he tries to just finish the level warpless. Oh no, he's just gonna go for the warpless route from here, which is fine. But all that happens there is just more clashing with beetles and cannonballs. Normally you would throw the cannonball to kill the first beetle, and as you see the animation for it dying, like that little explosion that pops up, you roll, jump over the second beetle, land on the third one, and then while it's on its back, you grab it, go back over the cannonball, you do the clash as the beetle hits, get an invis item, and then there's a flitter to the right of the screen that you need to bring on screen and then come back, throw the item left, and then you have to grab the cannonball without this little flower going off screen, or else the wrong warp doesn't work.
It's the worst run I've ever done in my life.
Hate to see that happen there.
Whee!
But,
what a descent.
Ramby Rumble's yet another deceptively hard level.
And this first section, at least, is tricky boy.
Yeah. But just honey climbing, and then I don't know if he's gonna go for the. I don't know if he does the Via Boy or the Claude Super Hyper Mega Ramby Rumble Team Throw Mark III. Looks like he's not doing either, so we might be going casual route.
Well, it's not casual to do this jump, but I mean.
I didn't see it because it froze up on my end. So. But it looks like he's gonna get out of the first section, and once you get in here and turn into Ramby, it's moderately free to at least finish the level.
At least finishing is very easy. Yeah, optimally that's different, very different.
But just more Ramby charging, and as he lands on the bees, he just keeps flying. So, like this right here might be the only part you could mess up, but it looks like he got through it. Of course, it freezes as he's flying towards this pit. But yeah, we're good. So we're gonna get out of Ramby Rumble and head into King Zing Sting.
Of course.
I don't know anything about this guy. You can talk about him, please.
Well, the king is He's another fickle boss. We have a saying that you don't sleep on the king. You think that it's pretty easy, but the setup to do him optimally is actually it's a pretty difficult fight because you want to hit him in certain spots, and then as he's shooting out these spikes, there's certain places that you want to be in order to get the setup for the next cycle. But basically, you do this 3 times, and then he's gonna spawn these 4 little bees around him. There's actually a trick called 2 cycle where it's a frame perfect trick that if you hit him with one of Squawks' nuts, if you hit him right as he's spawning all of his 4 little guys, it'll get the first hit of damage in, and you'll only have to do 2 more hits on him. So it saves about, I think it's like a 2-second save.
Yeah, 2 seconds.
And shout out to, but there's like no visual cue or anything really that you can bank on to get that. But it's a relatively low risk, so if you understand the trick, there's almost no reason to not at least try for it at a high level.
Alright, now we're on to World 5, which is, in my opinion, the best world in the game, because it's like nothing but platforming.
Yeah, World 5 is a good level, or a good world. It's really difficult, but as you said, it's just pure platforming, and a lot of ways to die, a lot of cool things to do. There are no wrong warps.
No currently viable wrong warps in
Yeah.
World 5, no.
There is a TAS wrong warp in Webwoods.
There are actually three TAS wrong warps in World 5, in 5.1, 5.3, and 5.5.
Yeah, I did not know that.
And none of those are RTA viable.
But
They've been,
like,
I think,
sorry.
some of them have been done by humans, but like not faster than RTA.
Yeah. But it looks like in that last level that Blue tried to go for the back rope and didn't get it there, but he had the second Kong, so it didn't really matter. But we're now into
Tupac's library.
yeah, Haunted Hall, I think is the actual name. I honestly am not sure because we all just call it Tupac's library for the ghost in the back. But yeah, this is another auto scroller. You actually can save time here based on when you do your jumps, because you actually save a couple frames by jumping as you go uphill. And also when you go through these doors, you want to hit the door at the peak of your jump because it saves a couple frames.
Yeah, no, go ahead.
I think over the course of the level, you can save like 3 seconds if you do all the
Actually,
task jumps.
It's over 3 seconds.
Oh, it's over 3 seconds. Okay.
Yeah.
I know that it's a lot either way.
Yeah. A lot for an auto scroller, definitely.
Yeah. And the thing is, when you think about it, in a game like DKC, we say 3 seconds is a lot. Like 3 seconds really is an eternity, because
yeah, in this game, yeah.
Yeah. World record is 39:49. So when you think about 3 seconds here and there, like that's the difference between like a 39:49 and a 40. Sorry, Canis. But I mean, what else do you expect from me? I can't just do a commentary and run and meme it a little bit.
Alright.
Yeah, that was so that's Haunted Hall. Pretty easy. This is Gusty Glade. The wind, for the most part, is just a gimmick. It does come into play, but for the most part, if you keep moving forward, it doesn't mess with you. The only part that, yeah.
The strats are built around like what the wind does, so it'll never interfere if you know where the wind's gonna blow at what part.
Yeah, the wind always follows a certain pattern, so...
Can you imagine if the wind was random? Jesus.
Oh, Jesus God. But here on these hooks, you have to pause, and... I'm not sure, I'm assuming by what he said, something great doesn't happen. But I got to freeze, so I didn't get to see what happened.
Yeah.
Looks like he took a death somewhere.
Oh, yeah.
Somebody's cheering
No
about
midway,
something.
so-
Oh, no midpoint barrel, so we're gonna start this one over.
It's fine though, because it's a fun level. We
Yeah,
get to see
it's
it
not bad.
twice.
This is so bad.
Nah, you're good, man. Come on. You got this. Aren't you always telling us to be positive, man?
Yeah, we're on team positivity, Blue. You got it. Alright, well, he grabbed midpoint, so even if we do have another mistake, we're gonna be fine. It's obviously not ideal, but...
I hope that was a sigh of relief.
Same. I'm frozen again, so that looks like it wasn't
no,
a sigh
it
of
was
relief.
another death. Unfortunate, but he did grab midway this time, so it won't be that bad.
Just remember, the wind is a gimmick.
Ooh, nice save.
Yeah, that was good.
Got
But
spooked for a second there.
The barrels and hooks are they have like mandatory pauses that you have to make, because if you just try to like fire as soon as you land in the barrel, the wind's gonna blow back to the left. But
Yeah.
after about a second passes, it goes back to the right. But anyway, we're out of Gusty, so let's focus on PCP here, which is maybe one of the funnest levels in the game.
Oh, it's a tons of fun. You just go flying downwards. Because it's obviously slow to take the birds.
Yeah. But it looks like yeah, pretty clean PCP. We skip the midpoint parrot like you're supposed to.
Ooh.
Yeah, no, this doesn't look bad so far.
Yeah, some clean PCP gameplay right here.
Yeah, there's a way to do it a bit more optimally, but overall, it looks like he's doing the pretty good route.
Doing the good
Yeah,
things.
we got the Diddy bonk, so
The headbutt, yeah.
yeah,
Dang.
Diddy, yeah.
What a solid
Deathless
PCP.
Yeah, deathless PCP. That's really nice. That's one of the harder things to do. That definitely ranks up there. It looks a lot scarier than it is, but once
It looks so much harder than it actually is, yeah.
it's still hard. Don't get me wrong, but like once you learn the level and kind of understand the layout, it's not that bad.
No.
All right,
And then
Joe,
there's-
walk me through our favorite level here.
Dude, I haven't even learned this level yet. I haven't even bothered.
Webwoods falls into that category of potentially hardest level in the game for some people. Depends on who you ask. Also falls into the category of funnest level in the game. For me personally, I think it's one of the most fun levels. But when I was learning the game, I spent probably just 8 to 10 hours alone on this level, just grinding it over and over and over again. But it's
Come on!
it's a rhythmic kind of level. You have to stay in a good rhythm and keep moving forward. And it looks like he made a little silly mistake there and walked off of the edge of his web. But
Yeah, that can happen.
we got the midpoint, so it's all
problem
good.
with midpoint this level is that it's very far back.
Yeah.
Like, it's like only like 40 or 30% of the level, so
But I mean, it's better than starting off before
yeah,
the
the
spider
beginning. Yeah.
So, it's these webs and platforms that you make. It's all about like timing, and oddly enough, comes back to like a saying that we use is the one thing about speedrunning is that you can't speedrun it. So
Yeah.
you actually have to sort of take your time because you have to let these platforms form, and you can't just land on them and instantly jump again, or you're just gonna walk off.
Yeah, there is a cooldown.
And so there's these
Oh,
deep
there's-
jumps.
yeah.
Yeah, that's
But the
That's-
timing on the
that's-
jumps are pretty tight.
Yeah, that's the hardest part of doing this level. There's 2 big D boosts that people try to go for, and this is one of them here, which unfortunately didn't hit. But if you take damage from the bees, as I said before, you see that explosion animation. If you press jump right as that happens, after you take damage, you will actually get your jump again, regardless of if you're falling. So you jump, take damage from the bee, and then jump again, and it lets you get through that more quickly, but just at the cost of a con. But it's a pretty tight window to get.
Taking a lot of deaths in Webwoods is
Come on.
very common. Definitely very common.
Come on.
Even like
If
like,
you remember at AGDQ, Webwoods,
Come
they were
on.
all kind
Let's
of.
go.
That was all. I think both Waffle and Void were like having a Webwoods Infinite.
yeah, Webwoods Infinite's extremely common. It happens to everybody.
So like yeah, even the best players, like yeah.
I'm pretty sure that there are people with like 42s and 43s in this game that have deaths in Webwoods. So it's not a requirement to get, but obviously the best runs are going to be deathless, but even top runs you'll still have a death, maybe even 2 in Webwoods. So now we're back to our buddy Crow. He's a ghost now because you killed him. A little bit of RNG involved with this fight. Depends on where the barrel spawns that you hit him with. If it spawns on the left, you lose 1 billion. But if the barrel spawns on the right, then you save the most time. So it all adds up. There's no way to control it, but yeah. Other than that,
that's
pretty straightforward fight. Yeah. The spawns haven't been too bad.
Oof.
I missed the throw. There's hooks there. If you jump and throw, you skip the first 2 jumps, which obviously saves time. Means you have to take it a little slow here to be safe, but you just want to get to this final phase here. And if we look at it on the positive side, he's not going to have to switch to Dixie before he tries to end the fight, so...
True.
Yeah, not a bad Crow fight. We got out of there, so...
Alright, just, well, technically 2 worlds left, but 1 real world left.
World 6 is, not easy.
No, the last world was like full of fun platforming. This one is just gimmicks.
Yeah, this is, and it starts right off with this level. If you thought the hitboxes for the snake were bad, just wait until you see our buddy on guard here.
He's something.
Optimally in this level, oh, nice. He didn't take any damage from those spikes. But, optimally in this, you would despawn one of those puffer fish, so you don't have to worry about it. But, he still got through that fine. The problem with On Guard is his hitbox is terrible, so it looks like you would stab somebody perfectly, but you're going to take damage. And I think from what I've seen, mostly when you're but it's still not guaranteed that you won't take damage. But that's a pretty good Arctic. And now we're into Windy Well, which is a very fun level, in my opinion. This wind gimmick is much better than the other wind gimmick.
What is there really to talk about? It's actually pretty straightforward.
Yeah, this is he elects to not go for the Paco coin, which is a little disappointing, but we'll live.
Who gets hit by the spike, man?
Not great, but not bad either. Just a little slowdown. But there is a little trick that's about to be coming up here. He's gonna get Dixie back switch Then he's gonna do a team throw up, and then when he jumps, he's gonna hit this B, and it will super jump him up through that platform and onto the hook. So yeah, you got that.
Skip
That's
a pretty
good.
big section.
Yeah, that's like
Wow.
that's probably like a 6 to 7 second time save, I would say.
Yeah.
And here's just more dodging bees. It's all super easy if you just stick to the left.
Mhm.
Upcoming next, I don't know if he's
Ghetto
gonna
bees.
go for ghetto bees. Oh,
Aw.
he tries to go for it, doesn't quite get it, but it's not bad. Not sure why we call it ghetto bees, to be 100% honest, but the idea there is to skip the first 2 bees instead of going one by one, essentially just skipping a cycle. There's a setup for it, but it's a pretty tight window to pull off. But we got through with no deaths.
To go back.
He does have to go back and get his second Kong because for Castle Crush you have to have both Kongs, and to start the level off you need the DK barrel to do this trick.
And so if you're familiar with the famous Castle Crush glitch that can completely destroy your game, it can also be used to summon the goalpost at the end of the level. And
basically we have to keep a hold of this DK barrel until about halfway through the level, which is harder than it seems.
well, actually, I disagree. It's actually really easy. But
I think that it can be tricky to jump over some guys, and this part here can be a little scary, because if you don't hit the hedgehog there and get back quickly enough, you can actually grab the barrel and kill the other spiny. So, but basically what Blue's going to do here is coming up, he's going to take the DK barrel and walk to the left side of the screen, and as you can see those chain links that are there, when the crusher touches the bottom of one of those chain links, he's going to set the barrel down and pick it back up, and it's going to burst, and he'll be holding an invisible object, and then he's going to go over and take damage from one of the spinies, and for whatever reason the game's like, okay, let me spawn the end of the game.
level.
And okay,
There we
so
go.
he did not crush himself, which is great, because that is probably the single-handedly largest time loss in the game if
Yeah,
you
I'm
mess
missing
that
that.
up. It's like 1.5 minutes, isn't it, or something like that?
Sounds about alright.
Yeah, it's bad because you have to not only go back and get another Kong, but start the level over again. But this is a level that's not so bad.
Clappers is good level, yeah.
Yeah, Clappers is a good level. He's gonna switch here so that the cycle's right to hit the spiny, and we're gonna go and do a trick we call throw your girlfriend. He's gonna use his momentum as he jumps onto this platform, moving forward, to get this invincibility barrel, and then when he gets up to the, yes, it's not great, but we'll still be okay. But the idea is that you get up here and then Dixie appears and you just pick her back up and start rolling through all these bees. But a little bit suboptimal, but still got through it, so that's all that really matters.
Chain link CLC. Tricky wrong warp here.
Yeah, the CLC Infinite is something that people can often fall into and kill runs because it's the last big warp of the game.
Well, the last wrong warp,
Yeah,
even.
but you're gonna go up and you grab this cannonball and then go down and clash with the clobber. So he's got the invis. You want to make sure that you get the camera over, and that was great. So the biggest thing that can happen there is you can get the invis, and if the camera doesn't pan over far enough to register the bonus barrel, even when you throw the item, the cannon won't spawn. And so this is Toxic Tower, which is the last platformer-ish level in the game. Screeches has a little bit, but what you see Blue here trying to do
Don't go over
is
Don't go
abusing these jumps for the snake. I don't know a lot about snake jumps because I haven't learned them yet. Because that's one of the, I think that's the hardest like mechanical trick to do in the game. But basically the way Radley works is you can charge his jump, and then he'll jump much higher. But if you charge and jump and then press and release jump again, like all within a certain window, he does that little like and then gets the extra jump anyway. But that's one of the more higher level tricks to do in the game, but it helps to skip a lot of stuff. So normally these jumps here would take a charge to get up and into, but that was a nice skip. So we had a couple of hiccups, but ultimately got through. So even though he took a death, we're through the snake section, into the squawk section. This is more just kill bees with squawks. I'm not sure if he's doing the D boost or not.
I'm taking the save.
Yeah, he's gonna take the save route and then get through the B ring. But yeah, so this is all pretty normal that you're gonna go through here. He's just gonna kill all these bees until he gets to the spider section. But this is kind of an Animal Antics mini level where you play as almost every single animal buddy in the game. But Animal Antics is even worse. Thankfully, we don't have to play it in any percent.
I'm going over estimate.
No, you're not.
Man,
You got this.
even if you do, it doesn't matter. You finish the run, so. Alright, hardest boss in the game. Stronghold Showdown. And he got it. Wow, first try.
Yeah,
That's really amazing, actually.
it's pretty impressive.
So there is one actual level left in the game before we go fight K. Rool, and it is Screech's Sprint. Do you know much about Screech, Joe, or no?
You take the bird and go fast.
There are a couple things you can do in that first section. The first part would be to do something we call the moonwalk, and it's when you land, you sort of like walk backwards with Diddy, which gives you the ability to roll through the Sonic there. And then there's another trick called the jump, and oh, you get the Screech skip, so that's cool. We won't even talk about the jump. It's a ridiculous trick. But Screech skip there, normally you would fly up and then stoplight comes down to start the race with Screech. But if you go, you can fly through him and it won't trigger the race, which saves a little bit of time. It's like 1 or 2 seconds. But tried to go for B ring, skip there, and took damage, unfortunately. But we're just gonna take it slow through this.
So we have
maze of
56.
bees.
56.
And we're through Screeches. So now, on to fight the
What we got
last
left
boss,
is
K. Rool.
the last boss.
So the meme about this boss is that it's essentially a cutscene because of how easy it's supposed to be. But I have twice stroked PBs to this boss, so I can't say a lot. But it's really easy to get bored on this boss again. But there's 3 different phases. First one just involves these cannonballs, and you're jumping over him as he goes across. It's nothing too crazy. Second phase is the hardest phase. He starts shooting out cannonballs in different ways. Some of them bounce, some of them like spin in the air. That's the hardest part to get through. And then the last phase, he shoots out 3 different colored clouds, and if you get hit by them, they do different things to you, which we can go over when we get there. Hopefully they're irrelevant, but So we're just gonna get over all of these cannonballs, bouncing. Looking like a pretty clean fight so far. Living a little dangerously there. Getting close to those cannonballs. I've never seen anybody do a fight like this. That's interesting. Oh, you got through it, so whatever works, man. You can optimize this fight and throw the cannonballs in at the exact instant that they can be, and it's a trick we call dustless. But here are the clouds. If you get hit by the blue ones, it just freezes you in place, and then you have to spam your buttons to break Diddy free. And then these next clouds are going to be red. I don't even remember what the red clouds do to you because
They make you slow.
oh, it's just slow. Okay.
Yeah. Looks like this one's gonna be underestimated. So despite all the struggles, we're still coming in
Should be good.
a good time.
But the purple clouds are the worst ones that you don't want to get hit by. They reverse your inputs. So if you push right, you go left. If you push left, you go right. And I lost my feed. Oh wait, there it is. Okay, it's back. So is Diddy. He runs fast enough to where you can just keep running left, and K. Rool will never be able to suck him in. And you got it.
Yeah, so 56-14, underestimated. Who would have known?
Congrats. That's Blue.
Yeah. Nice run. Good job, dude. 56-14 is not bad at all for all the stuff that happened.
Indeed.
But yeah, I can vouch for Blue that this is just a case of nerves.
No, this is his first time doing marathon runs, I'm pretty sure.
So definitely, this is definitely out of the ordinary for him. So, but either way, nice run. Sub 1 hour is always a nice.